All right. The state of looter shooters, right? We talked about that in the beginning at the top of the show.
Mhm.
I love where we are with looter shooters. Okay. I'm a fan, right? I've been a fan since Destiny, and that kind of genre of gaming that didn't necessarily have loot but was great was Lost Planet 2. I think Lost Planet 2, the fact that they recently made it a Xbox compatible game, Xbox One compatible game, is great because it allows individuals to see how far ahead Capcom and the team that did that game was thinking with all the quote unquote foundational blueprints that we're seeing right now for looter shooters. Okay, so we have the games that we mentioned. Got your Destinies, you got your Division, you got your Warframe, you got your Anthem, right? You got those games, right? But the situation that's taking place right now, and if you have any thoughts before I go in, Danielle, let me know.
Oh, go for it.
Okay, so the situation that's taking place right now is there's plenty to play. There's plenty to play. There's plenty to enjoy. I fell in love with Warframe. I'm going to start there. And Warframe is a great game. If you have not played it and it's available for your platform, you should give Warframe a try. Okay, there's layers to the system of the cars, of the upgrades, and the loot that you get in Warframe. It's great with friends. It's free. So if your friend does not have a looter shooter, but they want to play a game with you, there's no reason why you shouldn't be playing a game like Warframe. It's free, right? So there's that. So then you have games like Destiny. Like you mentioned earlier, Destiny had some struggles in the beginning, right? If I remember correctly, when you were saying that stuff, right? And Anthem is struggling from the same situation where there's a lapse in content. And they're trying to figure out who they are, what's their identity, right? So there is that. So we have a situation where a game is a beautiful PvE game that's struggling with loot. And recently, from what I understand, based on a news clipping that I saw that I didn't necessarily have here, that they increased the loot drop for the in-game stuff for Anthem. Correct me if I'm wrong, Anthem players. Aaron, let me know. I think I did see that news bit. I'm not imagining that, right? So you have that. You have your Warframe. You have the Destinies. Destiny struggled with that. Then they had the mishap where the individual went into the actual code of the game and saw that the game was actually making it more difficult or even a longer process for us to get any loot from the engram system with tests, I think it was, right? And then that became its own thing for Bungie to be even more transparent into the systems that they were putting into place. That allowed us to see more roadmaps for that particular game. And we're seeing it as now we're in the season of the Drifter, and you have the year passes of content that's supposed to come out. Destiny, Bungie breaks away from Activision to be indie once again. So you have that whole thing. So they're trying to introduce stuff. They introduce the Thorn quest, which is happening right now. Gambit Prime is doing this thing. There's content there for the individuals who love Destiny. And I'll be honest with you, I haven't touched Destiny ever since the new Gambit stuff and the season started for Season of the Drifter. I just haven't. I haven't. I actually went back to the Division 1, and I'm going somewhere with all this, right? So I went back to the Division 1, started playing that, started understanding how the crafting system works for the Division 1, playing that, right? Understanding that. Started playing it with Aaron, Taco, and Prayer. We're going into Division 1. We're in New York City. We're doing what we got to do in New York City, having a good time. I finally understand how the system works now for the Division. So there's that. Great. That game had issues in the beginning too. People stopped playing it, right? Because they were trying to find their legs, understanding how that looter shooter system, what's the frequency? Is it weekly? Is it daily? They were trying to figure that whole thing. So there was a long season where the Division didn't have anything, where it was a cold turkey drop from the individuals who claimed to be super duper fans of the game. Then they learn from their mistakes. Then they do state of the game Twitch streams over and over and over again. And then we get to a place where they've heard enough from the community and they crafted what we got for the Division 1 on the tail end of that game. Right? Leading into the marketing for all the stuff we started seeing for the Division 2, we started seeing private betas and the open betas, and we've played that. Then some of the open betas, if not all of them, had sound issues. We had that. Going through that whole process. And then we get to a spot where the game actually comes out, right? Kind of comes out. It comes out the whole week, right? So it seems like the whole week we're playing the game. The Twitch channel for the Division is live almost every day and the way out the hours of the evening, right? All that's happening. So marketing is happening for Ubisoft PR. So Ubisoft did this amazing thing, which a lot of studios have done in the past, where they unite all these different studios. When your powers combine, I am Captain Planet. So they create all this stuff, Go Planet, right? So all these studios connect and make this wonderful experience that we're experiencing right now for the Division 2. So here we are, a couple of days removed from actual release, right? The 15th. We're on the 17th right now. The Division 2 comes out. The Division 2 lays out a great blueprint for any game that's going to come out that's a looter shooter in the future. So I've been, conversations with different individuals, and I've even said it in different streams and stuff like that. I will say it here. If any company is going to make a looter shooter that doesn't bring the value that the Division 2 is bringing right now, you will lose until you bring the value that the Division 2 is bringing now. There's no other game right now, whether it's the level of difficulty. If you're going to complain about the grind, so let's just set a couple of things in order, right? If you're going to complain about the grind of a looter shooter, then they're not for you, right? If you're going to complain the frequency on how to play it and how to get the loot and how to get, the different brand sets that they call them now for the Division 2 versus the gear sets that you were getting in the Division 1, then that's not for you, right? So let's just cut that out now. But in terms of the foundational game that we have, right? I'm not just saying that because they sent me the game, because if you were paying attention to anything that I've posted, whether I was streaming or not, so let's talk about that. I need to add that in there somewhere, where I didn't even know I was going to get the game, right? And I was riding the Division 1 for a long time, right? And I would say a lot of the concurrence that I was getting was because I was literally doing whatever. I was really enjoying the game, understanding the system for the Division 1, and people were coming in. They're like, I'm glad that you're playing the Division 1 because I really wanted to see what I was going to get into for the Division 2. And I was excited. Still am, right? So we're playing the game, having fun with the game. People are asking questions about the Division or whatever. And I'm like, are you going to get it? Uriah, you getting it? You getting it? I'm like, I don't know if they're going to send it. I put my bid in, but I don't know, right? So what ended up happening, they did send it. So that was awesome for that. So we're in it now, right? But if you're doing a looter shooter game and for whatever reason you're not paying attention to anything that the Division 2 is doing right now, you are failing, right? That doesn't have to stay that way. But so let's talk about it, right? So the game comes out, game looks beautiful, right? System, story, difficulty could be medium to high, depending what you're doing. The NPCs in the game are super difficult. They'll flank you if you try to play around. Bosses will re-add armor, health to themselves. They'll call for backup. Okay, it's stupid good, right? In that regard. So you have that. You need to play it with people, or else you're gonna have a difficult time getting the stuff that you're trying to get. In terms of the experience that it brings, the soundtrack, the environment, the guns, no sound issues in the actual official game. So I haven't had any issues in that. So these are light impressions, not necessarily a review. We'll do a review once I get the in-game stuff. So, but it's great. It is an amazing package for free. All the content that you're getting, and even from what I understand, that you're getting a year's worth of content, no charge. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I think that's the conversation that's happening. Marketing, stellar. I don't recall any mishaps in the marketing for the Division 2. Studio work, brilliant. They're doing great. No questions. Any issues, they try to resolve right away. There was a light patch that happened, which took 5 minutes for them to bring their servers down and bring it back up. Everything was back to normal. It's fantastic, right? So now you're looking at that. and you're considering entering this space, and it's not saturated. There's only a couple of games I mentioned, right? We talked about Anthem, talked about Division, we talked about Warframe. Only a couple of games that are really standing out as it relates to these type of games right now. And if you're not looking at what they're doing as a blueprint, you're failing until you decide to make the changes. So overall, that's a great experience. I'm digging it. I haven't met anyone who's currently playing it and understand the systems in the game, because it takes some time to learn how they work. But once you get that, you're pretty much golden after that. But I haven't met anyone that's seen it, just watching it, or played it, that didn't have anything positive to say about this game. And we're just in the beginning. I'm at level 14, 13, 14 right now. We're just at the beginning stages of it. And it could be game of the year in this category. It's probably too early to tell. I'm just saying that. But these other companies got to bring it. So I'll stop there. So any comments? That's really the main last topic for stuff before we get out of here. But I'm gonna stop there.
Wow, I thought that was your full review. That was a lot. No, but you're right though. I mean, if people are going to be coming out with studios going to be coming out with looter shooters, there, I mean, there's no point of recreating the wheel again. Look what's out there and improve upon it, and at least use that as your